being a queer woman of color in the folk world is completely opposite from anything you would expect from that sort of genre.
Being able to empower other girls.
I have to work twice as hard to do
Not like
That's what makes me so proud to be a woman.
I went to Oberlin and did a show there, and I've been out for about a year now, actually, only, and they wrote in the thing many times in the review that I was a queer woman of color. And I looked at it and I told my manager about it. I was like, LOL, they outed me on the site. And he was like, we'll just run with it. Just go with it. And I'm very okay with it. So, you know, I think if it was at a time when I was still struggling with my identity, then that would have been a completely different experience for me. But in terms of that, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I grew up basically with hip-hop being like the main genre that was played in my household, which I feel like is different than a lot of people's experiences. I think that having this sort of unique experience as a person of color and a woman, as a queer woman, I think all those things give me a unique perspective. My music is informed by so many other things outside of folk. It just would fall under a larger umbrella of like an alternative folk artist. I've heard all kinds of things. I've heard folk music for black people. I've heard like electronic soul. Someone said it was like Norah Jones and Feist if they had a baby. I grew up with an understanding of, okay, you are a black woman. My parents were very like, made sure to remind me of that. And that means what? Maybe I have to work twice as hard to do half as well. But that was also coupled in with being a woman, just understanding that there were certain obstacles that I would have to face just because of the way our society was set up. And that doesn't mean that I can't do anything. Obviously, I have the freedom to do anything that I want, but maybe I have to gun at it a little harder or be a little bit more persuasive or be twice as determined as someone else who might be like a white male who just happens to have a leg up, whereas I don't. I lost my virginity when I was 15. I had a boyfriend at the time who was 3 years older than I was, and it was very corny, and I lost my virginity on prom night. I think having any kind of sexual experience with another person means that you've lost your virginity, though I feel like the term in general is just kind of a bummer. It's like, why do I have to lose something? It's kind of just, you're gaining another experience. I don't think there's anything that was taken out of me. I think coming out was an easier process for me than it is for a lot of people, just because of the way I grew up and the people that I've always been lucky enough to be surrounded by. Though I feel like there's no reason people should even come out at all. That whole process feels so antiquated to me. It's like, why? It feels a little self-indulgent. Like, why do I have to make an announcement to you that maybe I just wanted to kiss a girl instead of a guy? I sort of pushed it down because I had a boyfriend for a very long time in high school. So I was like, other people are gay, which is totally okay. I just am not gay because I have a boyfriend. You know, it's like impossible. And then I realized that I was following this girl around, and I like set myself up to be in the hallway where she might pass me, and I had that, oh shit, I'm gay moment, which I feel like every gay person has had, where you're just like, fuck, now what do? I have grappled with so many things involving like my self-identity, somehow trying to figure out how to love myself or be okay with, you know, who I am. And all I want to do is really just help other girls understand their worth as well. Because it's just, I mean, I have the tattoo on my arm. It just says worthy because I feel like for me it's more of a reminder, and maybe one day it will just be something that I know for myself, but for now it's a reminder of just understanding that I don't have to do anything else. I can just be and I can just exist, and I am totally worth it just because I'm here.